You guys are signed to 85 South Media, Karlous Miller. What has Karlous meant for you guys' career?
Oh, Karlous has been amazing. Like, I feel like he's been an instrumental part of our career because he kind of gave us the opportunity, you know what I mean? When we were still filming at my apartment, before we were ever even in the studio, he pulled up to my apartment and recorded with us.
Yeah, he was on your living room floor.
Yes, he was, literally.
Yes. And then like a few years later, the show grown.
That's all right.
It's that brown.
It's
Yeah.
taking it down.
The show had grew a little bit more, and then he, you know, offered for us to come on 85 South. So we went on 85 South, and that really like catapulted our show to another level because I think that episode got like 1 million views in like 2 or 3 days.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that helped us get a lot more viewership. And then they ended up asking us, did we want to sign to them? Because they were trying to start a management company and we were going to be the first people that they signed.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So they signed us. We was kind of like they guinea pigs a little bit. But it ended up working out
Right.
amazingly. And Karlous and 85 South have just been such a blessing in our lives with the show.
They really cleaned up our business too. Like we didn't know what we're doing, what we were doing, but they have taught us so much. And like we were getting so many no's, and Karlous was the one yes. And it's crazy because all them no's came back like, hey, when that finishes up, y'all can come over here. We're like,
No, we good.
Yeah, so
You had your chance.
and we're proof that all you need is one yes.
That's
so
it.
I'm cool with all these no's because I know once I get that one yes, it be up.
That's solid.
Both of you guys have lost a parent, and that's something that you guys can relate to. Obviously, you've both been bartenders. You're partners now. You grow. So how's it? Have you guys talked about what it's like losing a parent?
Yeah, we've talked about it a lot of times. I mean, because it's something that we still deal with. I don't think grief ever stops. If anything, like as time progresses, it just comes more in waves.
Yeah.
So you'll think that you're in a good space and then something will happen where it triggers you and it reminds you of that person and it brings you back to those old memories and now you an emotional wreck. But like I will say for me now when it comes to my dad, when I think about him, when I do cry, it's more happy tears than me being really sad like how I was in the beginning. But I mean, it's difficult, especially doing it while navigating being a public figure, and being a social media kind of personality. Because I remember the day my dad passed away, I had to still record Poor Minds. And still to this day, when people watch the episode, they always say they couldn't tell that I had just lost my dad.
Well, you did an unbelievable job then.
Thank you. And I felt like that's what I had to do because back then we weren't batch recording either. So if we didn't record an episode that week, it wasn't going to be
We ain't get no money. We ain't get no money. We got to pay.
Right. But I mean, it's extremely difficult. And I think the hardest part about it is that when you start to reach this level of success, you wish the person was here to be able to see it, especially because it's your parent and all of the sacrifices that they made is part of the reason why you are who you are today.
Yeah, I agree with that. It was the same for me. Like when my mom passed, we were about to start our second tour.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, do you still want to do the tour or not?
Right.
And I always just like every decision I make still to this day is like, okay, I try to put myself like, what would my mom want to see? What would she want? So I think it's so hard to navigate because, you know, people be like, oh, she's here, she sees you, but it's not the same.
It's not the same. The physical, we know she's here in spirit. And to see this.
Yes.
To see this.
I mean, because my mom was there. Like, my mom was the one in the comments. I'd be like, Mom, stop. They'd be like, in the comments, oh, who are these two girls? Those are my babies. Like, she was in the comments fighting for her life.
Yeah, she was.
So I know that she would be like so happy to see this, but it's definitely a hard club to be a part of, and you don't understand it until you're in it. You know what I mean? So I think one thing that I have found joy in is just like, I find joy in bringing people joy. You know, because sometimes I don't have a lot of joy, but when I see people be like, man, Lex, you and Drea made me laugh so hard today. Like that fills that void of, you know, because that's how my mom was for me. When I was feeling bad, she'd be like, girl, do you know who you are? Like my mom, because we from a small town. So she used to swear up and down. She was like the Michelle Obama of Orange, Texas.
Yeah.
So she was like, do you know who you are? Like she would always remind me of who I was. So I think we're just kind of living in our purpose for our parents.
What do you think the most important thing that you learned from your parents?
To be kind. because kindness doesn't cost anything. Like, I'm just always so shocked, especially being in the space that we are in now, especially with like having a team and having employees. Sometimes I get on the internet and I see how people treat the people that work for them who
Yeah.
help make their business run the way
Yes.
that it runs. And it shocks me. Or even just, you know, we're in a time where people feel like they have to record everything, how people treat homeless people, how they treat waitresses
Yeah,
at restaurants. I think the kindness that spills out of you is a big indication of your character as a person.
For sure.
And it's a big indication of the people that raised you as well. And so one of the best things that I think my parents instilled in me is just being a kind person. My mom even told me, she came to our studio back in December when we were recording an episode, and she was telling me how like so many people that were a part of our staff was just telling her how nice of a person I am, and that she raised me to be so nice. And I think that's one of the best compliments that you can get from people is about your character as a person.
I agree. Like, I grew up kind of spoiled and kind of having everything, and my mom just instilled in me, like, she always had this saying, like, when you put good in the universe, it's gonna come back to you. I don't care what you going through. I don't care if you at your last dime. You don't let people use you or make you feel like less than, and then you want to, I'm going to show you. I don't have that revenge spirit in me.
Yes.
I'm not a spiteful person. I've had some people do the meanest, nastiest things to me, and I still don't have that spirit in me to do anything back to you.
Right.
Because you know what? That's why I say God bless you, and I send people on their way.
Right.
Because I continue to put good energy in the world. Do I slip up? Yes. But I'm still a human being. But I continue to put that good energy in the world, and I think my life is a testament of the energy that I've put into the world. So that was something my mom always said to me. She was like, well, if you do good and do right by people, you will receive your blessings in life. And my life is one big blessing for sure.
Drea, have you ever had a conversation with your mom? Because your mom was extremely young when she conceived you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not even a teenager quite.
Yeah.
Did you like, when you have you had a conversation with your mom about that?
Yeah, we've had conversations about that, but you know, I didn't grow up with her.
Right.
Well, I did, but I thought she was my cousin. So
your grandmother probably.
Well, my great aunt raised me. But I have had conversations with my biological mom, and I think honestly, still to this day, that's why we don't have a extremely close relationship, because it was a difficult situation for her to navigate in childhood and even now in adulthood.
Because she was a child.
But it was also like a chain of traumatic events that led to that ended up being the outcome for her of her getting pregnant at such a young age. So I think it's just very traumatic for her. And sometimes I think that I'm, in a lot of ways, a reminder of that. And she hasn't healed or grown.
And she can't verbalize. She can't explain to you, and she can't quite put into words of what not only that it did to her, but probably her not being there for you.
Yeah, and I think in a lot of ways, like being a child, when that happened to her, she felt like a lot of the adults in her life weren't there for her.
Yes.
They didn't protect her.
Yes.
And so she has kind of an estranged relationship with some of the people in our family as well.
I can see that, because I'm of that generation, and I understand, because they look at women young ladies that she was a child.
Yeah.
When they have kids at that age, she was fast.
Yeah.
She asked for it. She put herself in that situation. So I know what people around there, because I've been in situations and I've seen people have kids at a very young age, and they brought that on themselves. That's a child.
Yeah.
No matter what you think, fancy or this or grown, she was grown. That is a child.
Yes.
A child deserves protection.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Not scorn, not ridicule. And how do you, when she grew up like that, and having to place you there, and like you said, a lot of times that's what they do. Oh, that's your cousin. That's your sister. That's your auntie.
Yep.
How old were you when you found out that was your mom?
I was 18, but I already knew though.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you know?
Because we look alike.
Really?
Yeah. And so for me to be adopted from outside of my family, and I happen to look so much like my cousin who's 12 years older than me, who I grew up around, kind of strange a little bit. And then I also I look like her and her sister.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really weird. And my mom that raised me, growing up, she would tell me little things here and there about my biological mom. So I kind of just just started putting two and two together. And so by the time I was 18 and they took me out to dinner and they told me, I wasn't really that shocked. Like, I already knew.
When they finally told you, even though you had some inclination that this was your biological mom, was she there? Did she cry? Did you cry? What were the emotions that you felt that came pouring out because you finally had the answer? You surmised that this might be my mom, but to know it wholeheartedly, that this is my mom. I knew this all along, but I finally got the answers. I finally got the truth that this is her.
It was a lot of emotion. So yeah, she was there. My mom that raised me was there, which is really my great aunt. And then her mom was there. My mom, my biological mom, her mom was there.
your grandma.
My biological grandma. Yeah. So all of us were there. And I remember like I said, I already knew. So I wasn't super shocked, but I did feel a certain sense of like betrayal.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say you felt betrayed.
Yeah, I did, because I just couldn't believe, and by everybody but my mom that raised me, because she was always as honest as she could be considering the circumstances.
Right.
Her and my dad were always really honest with
Right.
me. But I felt really betrayed by my biological mom and my biological grandma. Because I just felt like, how could y'all let all this time go by and not want me to know this information? And then I found out that they never wanted me to know. It was really my mom that raised me that pushed for me to find out about the whole situation and everything. So it was definitely really difficult. And I cried a lot for a really long time. And then we tried to start having a better relationship, because we were never really close to begin with. But we tried to start having a good relationship, and then over the years it's just kind of been like this up and down type of relationship where we try then we don't speak, we try then we don't speak.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party, because we like to do something before two something.